Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday, February 4th, 2020, City Council Agenda Meeting. I now call us to order. First order of business, we have a Pledge of Allegiance and an invocation, should she please, by Councilwoman Burrs.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. There's no special presentation tonight, but I would like to acknowledge that we have tonight the UTC photojournalist class here taking pictures. So I just want to warn everybody to be on your, smile, be on your best look, and please not try to get caught in some of those really interesting looks that they can find you with, that they're more than happy would post. So, yeah, please stand up, photojournalist class. All right, thank you for coming. Now the two young, remember what I told y'all in the back now, right? Got this one? Okay. Okay. Now we'll move us into the order of business for your city council. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have a couple of items on final reading tonight. Madam Clerk, please let's start with 5A.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 24, Article 14, Section 24501 and 24502, relating to speed on through streets.
We have Vice Chairman Henderson, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Mr. Chair, this is in the second reading. It's in your district with no objection. I move approval.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I do approve. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 5B, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 24, Article 15, Section 24511, to extend a moratorium relating to the operation of dockless electric scooters and bicycles.
Councilman Smith, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Move approval, Mr. Chair. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Tonight we have no ordinances on first reading, so now we will move on to resolutions. Madam Clerk, let's start with 7A.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a fourth agreement to exercise option to renew for an additional term of 1 year with North Chickamauga Creek Conservancy and substantially the form attached for the lease and management of a community garden at Greenway Farms Park with the address of 5051 Ganstoy Road.
We have Councilman Smith, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, sir. Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item B.
A resolution declaring surplus of property located at 5910 Lee Highway identified as tax map number 158AE007 and entering into a donation agreement with the Chattanooga Hamilton County Rescue Squad, a registered nonprofit, in substantially the form attached, and to execute any related documents for the conveyance of property, with the property to be utilized to aid in providing mutual aid rescue services to emergency agencies in the greater Chattanooga and tri-state areas.
We have Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item C.
A resolution authorizing the Chief Human Resources Officer to renew the contract with Collins and Company, Inc. for the provision of third-party administrative services for the city's job injury program for a 1-year term with one remaining 1-year renewal option at the rate of $6,800 per month, including payment of the city's job injury claims for an annual total amount not to exceed $3 million.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor by the sign of aye. Okay, wait a minute. We have a question. Councilman Smith, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just had a really quick question. Do we have HR here? No? Sullivan, can I ask you a quick question about it? Oh, wait, there she is. Everybody's here.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Wonderful.
I know that this has been deferred, and it's my understanding that the questions that the council had about this have all been resolved for us to be able to move forward. I just noticed, and it may have been on the background paperwork, so I apologize if it was. What are do we have dates? A lot of these, when we're renewing for 1 year, it's because our contract's coming due, or it's past due. Do you have the dates on this contract for when it goes into effect, and it's renewing, so when does it expire currently?
It will expire, so as an example, once you all approve it, it will, and I sign the agreement, if that's the case, it will go into effect, let's say, tomorrow.
Okay.
And so it will be 1 year from tomorrow's date.
So does the current one expire at that same time then?
The current one has already expired. The agreement that you have in front of you is amendment. So the original agreement expired December 31st, I believe it was. And so that was why we had some of the delays, because we're working through some contractual
Okay.
issues. So this is an amended agreement.
Was there a reason we were waiting until now since it expired in December?
Yes, there were some points of, that had to do with service in terms of things that the city wanted to make sure that we were solid on, that would go into this particular contract so that we're clear on expectation. And so we're working through those logistics.
So those are new, because it's a renewal, so it's the same company. So these are
It is.
new things that we're requiring of the same company.
It is more specifics. So as before, it's the same agreement, but before, some of the items were a little bit more generalized and not as explicit. And so we wanted to clarify what we meant by some of those items.
Okay, and since it is injury on duty claims that they handle, we didn't have any of those issues where these claims may have come in while it was expired?
Not that would have required council's approval. So the ones that we had that had come in, they were already in the queue, so to speak. We're already reviewing them. That would have been applicable during the contract period. Nothing, we have not approved anything that was while this contract had expired.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, you fine, Councilman? Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. If there's no further questions, all in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item C, please.
Is it item D?
Which one?
D?
D? Oh, okay. We just finished that one with the question. Okay, item D. Thank you.
A resolution authorizing the appointment of Carrie M. Morgan as Special Police Officer unarmed for the McCamey Animal Center to do special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Gilbert, followed by Councilman Ledford. It's been moved and properly seconded. Questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item E.
A resolution authorizing the appointment of Isabel Kirby as a Special Police Officer unarmed for the Department of Public Works to do special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Gilbert.
I'd like to defer this to February the 18th.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. If there's no further questions, all in favor to defer till February the 18th, sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries, deferred till February 18th. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Okay, let's move on to F, Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the Chief Information Officer to execute a one-time purchase with Forensic Logic LLC, Security Professional Services for migration of CopLink to the cloud, as well as annual subscription and maintenance fees for a total project cost of $46,030.
Council, what is your pleasure? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item G.
A resolution to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Donna Roddy to the Metropolitan Airport Authority Board.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item H.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to award contract number R14012-203 to Nabco Electric Company, Inc. of Chattanooga, Tennessee, lighted guardrails for the Holmberg Bridge in the amount of $147,288, plus a contingency amount of $15,000, for a total project cost of $162,288.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Chairman. This is in your district. With your approval, I'll move to approve.
Thank you very much. It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? I'm sorry. First we have Councilman Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe we did establish that these were riverfront or hotel motel funds, correct, Mara? Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now let's move on to, all in favor by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Okay. Letter I.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to execute an agreement with Hamilton County for the 2020 biannual GIS imagery orthophotography update for an amount not to exceed $62,000.
Council, what's your pleasure? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. That concludes this portion of our meeting. We will now move on to purchases.
Good evening, members of council. We have a few items, purchase items for your review and consideration. First being from the Department of Information Technology. We have a blanket contract renewal for technology, security, and communication solutions awarded to Tyler Technologies Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $550,000. Next, from the Air Pollution Control Bureau, a purchase for air monitoring shelter being awarded to Shelter One Incorporated, a total estimated cost of $39,923.75. The next item from the Department of Youth and Family Development is a new blanket contract for fresh produce being awarded to T&T Produce for a total estimated annual amount of $45,000. The next item from the Division of Fleet Management of Public Works, the purchase of a sterile Coney ST-1064 Model 4 wireless mobile lift being awarded to Heavy Duty Lift and Equipment Incorporated for a total cost of $40,707.62. Next, from the Department of Transportation, a new blanket contract for guardrail installation, repair, and replacement being awarded to Tennessee Guardrail Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $82,000. Next, from the Division of Facility Management of Public Works, a new blanket contract, air filters, and it is being awarded to Air Filtration Services Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $70,000. And the remainder of the items here are from the Waste Resource Division of Public Works, the first being a new blanket contract for bulk quicklime being awarded to Mississippi Lime Company for a total estimated annual amount of $500,000. Next, a blanket contract renewal for ground maintenance being awarded to Precision Property Maintenance for a total estimated annual amount of $45,000. And the last item is a blanket contract renewal for window replacement and tinting services being awarded to Ross Glass and Aluminum LLC for a total estimated annual amount of $200,000.
Council, what is your pleasure? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to other business. Is there any other business this council would like to share with us this evening? Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. This Saturday at 1 o'clock, we will be having a meeting at the M&M Industry site. concerning a development that may come to Main Street. So if you know anyone, or if you live in the Highland Park area, Morningside, Eveningside, Main Street, Limbrook, please make your way to M&M Industries this Saturday at 1 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Byrd. Is there any other business anybody would like to share? Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. Just mark your calendars for February the 21st. It's on a Friday at 6 o'clock at Avondale Youth and Family Development Center. We're hosting our mailbox gathering meeting. I picked mailbox gathering because the mailbox is where you receive and send important information. So it's going to be a collaboration with myself, the City Council member for District 9, Catherine Jeter, which is our county commissioner, and then our school board representative to answer questions for the overall district, because we serve that population together, and then also get an update with the school system and different things like that, issues that arise that a lot of times that people assume that it's in the wheelhouse of just the city council members, so people can understand where you need to take your issue to and to begin to advocate for the different changes, different things you would like to see in your community.
Okay, Councilman, that's at what time? 6 o'clock, and is that Avondale? All right, thank you. Seeing no other lights, let's move on to committee reports. Councilwoman Byrd. No report. Thank you. Councilman Byrd. No report. Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Coonrod.
I
There
need
you
this
go.
to be echoed so the media can get it. Next Tuesday, we'll have a committee report from the best department that it is, Youth and Family Development.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Gilbert. No report. Vice Chairman Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Legislative Committee did meet this afternoon at 1:30 during our strategic planning period to make and discuss recommendations on how to proceed with our strategic planning at 1:30. So I'll be putting together some recommendations to present to the council to, I guess, vote up or down.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chair. Now we have Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Planning
Yes.
and Zoning did meet today where we covered all items on the agenda for next week's order of business. We also had a presentation and discussion with one of my Planning Commission colleagues, Jason Farmer, in discussion of creating an R2 special permit tool to help unlock affordable housing that has been in some cases tied up for many years. And I think this will be a great tool for us to help open the doors for housing opportunities in Chattanooga. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Ledford. Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting today, and we will have another one in 2 weeks after agenda session.
Thank you, Councilman Mitchell. Councilman Smith. No report, Mr. Chair. Thank you, sir. Councilman Coonrod, I see your light on.
Thank you, Chair. I meant to get this in on the other business. Do you mind if we go back?
Sure, please.
Thank you so much. We've been discussing in our legislative chairs with the short-term vacation rental funds, how we would like to see it best used and what would we like to advocate that revenue stream towards. So historically, it's been going, the hotel motel taxes was created and it all go down for the downtown area to fix that up. Well, short-term vacation rental is a new revenue stream. And I would like, while we're having these conversations, to hear from constituents as to what you think should happen with this funding. How do you see best that it is used? It could be you don't think it should be included with that. What would you like to see? Reach out to your council person, share your thoughts and your input with them, because we will be discussing it. We'll get an update from Daisy. If you're able to attend the strategic planning meeting next week at 1:30 to hear her roll out her whys, or so show her data of the money and the income that's coming in. Share your thoughts with us, because that's what we're here for, because as we begin to advocate for the best interests of our districts, it's important that we hear from you on what you would like to see done with it, if it's paving, if it's towards affordable housing, whatever it is, so we can make sure that we're implementing the best use for that revenue stream.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Okay, now at this time, we will have recognitions of person wishing to address this city council. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the rules?
Sure.
Thank you.
The council has adopted rules of procedure, and at the end of each council business meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public who wish to address the council. Here are your rules. Each speaker wishing to address the council can only be recognized up front at the microphone. No person can have more than 3 minutes to speak. The speaker may address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority, and the speaker may not address the council on matters which are not under their authority or are regulated by other governmental bodies or agencies. Don't use any vulgar or obscene language, nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others. Address your comments to the council as a whole, and make those comments, don't make your comments towards individual council members. So come forward now. You can speak one time a day.
Clock, please.
Thank you. Marie Ma, Oak Grove. Audre Lorde said we have to consciously study how to be tender with each other until it becomes a habit. I am here before you because of the treatment of our homeless on 11th Street. On the 18th of January, me and over 40 citizens throughout the city picked up over 90 bags of trash in that area, a toilet, and broken lawn equipment, but we did not destroy our homeless tents, as well as we did not destroy their personal belongings. I want to talk about maybe a little bit of science to help us understand what exclusion really looks like and how we can do better. The human brain is optimized to perform at its best under two root conditions. They are, our brain wants to be around other people who care about us. These are tied to the survivals of human beings. In my studies, I have come to understand that the brain lights up in two parts when you are in pain. It is the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex and the right ventral prefrontal cortex. It also lights up when you are in physical pain. So that means when you exclude people, you cause them physical pain in their brain, and UCLA calls this the social pain of exclusion. Also in your brain, there is a part called Brodmann area, which allows you to pay attention to one thing at a time. And so, if an outsider is being excluded or a person is treated as an outsider, they can only focus on the pain that you have caused them because of their exclusion, which means that they cannot participate in society at their most optimal being, which is brain. Your brain is designed when you are included in society with people who care about you, you perform at your best when you are loved and accepted and trusted. And maybe one of the things that we discovered when we were cleaning up, there was a large amount of needles as well as trash in the 11th Street area. Maybe the exclusion within our society of how we treat our homeless and our most destitute citizens causes them to get on drugs because they do not have love, they do not have acceptance, and they do not have any trust of people within our society. And so I am encouraging those within our city government, I am encouraging those within the community. Tribe is not people who look like us, people who worship like us, people who are in our social status. Tribe is every single human being that the good Lord has given breath, because in Christ there is no man or woman, there is no Gentile or Jew, there are only the children of God.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mott. Is there anybody else that would like to speak to this council this evening? Seeing none, we are adjourned.